it's going to be hard for me to keep this within 15 minutes, as I'm just going to ad-lib this. I don't want to script this out, because this is just me having to contend with yet another fucking idiot that has stumbled across my channel and has left the dumbest fucking comments that one can imagine in terms of what I've said on my channel. And I'm not going to begrudge this guy the fact that he hasn't seen some of the commentaries that I've done, as he elaborates on things that just are completely ridiculous in terms of him not knowing what I've said. But let's get into this. His name is Sinum, and his first comment is, "I disagree with you completely on this. I've tried to give your videos a shot, but you seem too bitter over people pushing for inclusivity in gaming, which no matter how you look at it is not a bad thing. The gaming industry is and can always be big enough for everyone." So this is where we begin, and it's already on a ridiculous fucking talking point. Gaming is not for everyone as defined by the ESRB. Now, if you're actually aware of other commentaries that I've done, I've called for the abolition of the ESRB. I am the most radical person on the issue of everyone having access to video games. I am the most radical. I'm not going to fault you for not knowing that, but I'm just going to get into the bare basics of this, okay? When you look at the issue of having access to video games, what I need for you to do is define how someone does not have access to video games. Because how can anyone exclude anyone from gaming when there are so many different ways to play fucking video games? Whether it's on your phone, or your tablet, or your console, or your PC, or whatever mobile device you own. PlayStation Vita, for instance, or 3DS. There are so many platforms that have their own stores of which you can download games from. On top of that, you have the old method, going to a store and buying a physical copy or a download code. No one is stopping you. No one is preventing anyone from buying a fucking game. Every one of us that isn't an ideologue or a concerned parent or whatever, a fucking fascist, everyone that's not a stupid cunt wants more people playing games. These companies, especially the publishers that are making the games or responsible for them being on the market, they're very capitalistic. They want more people playing those games. There's only one body of people that are trying to prevent people from having access to video games, and it is feminists and regressive leftists and ideologues. They are the ones that are arguing for discrimination in video games. So the way that you're presenting this is actually ass backwards. A person such as myself is not advocating for anyone being excluded from the medium. Your side is. Now, the issue is, however, if you're talking about the subculture of gaming, well, I'm sorry. That's the basic definition of a subculture. Not everyone is going to be included. Not everyone is just going to be able to walk in and join my friends list. Not everyone is going to be able to say to me, "Hey, I want to group up with you. I want you to play with me." No, you aren't entitled to that. You aren't entitled to be my friend. You're not entitled to be on my friends list. You're not entitled to fucking anything in regards to my group of friends or the subculture that I'm a part of or anything else. And if you have a problem with understanding that, look up the basic fucking notion of a clique or a subculture or a group of people that just discriminates, and that's the only way that it exists. This is so fucking simple to understand that it is amazing that anyone is still this stupid. If you look at the numbers, if you look at how many people buy games versus how many refer to themselves as gamers, you can see the difference. You can understand the notion of a fucking subculture. It is that simple. The next comment, where I actually asked him to give me some kind of evidence to just expand on his fucking claim. He says, "What study do you need exactly? Gaming is the youngest media form out there, and the evidence is within games themselves. No study needed." You know, do I have to explain that? Do I have to explain to anyone why you're not allowed to make a claim and then have no evidence? Claims require evidence. The next thing he moves on to is one of the worst fucking talking points in gaming. If we want the gaming industry to open up beyond the samey shooters, we need to diversify the topics and stories that games tell. There are other genres of games, which later in this whole string of retardation, he just fucking admits, he finally admits that there's other games other than fucking shooters. Shooters don't have to change. Shooters do not have to change at all. Artists are doing whatever they want to do. People are buying that genre of games. I buy that genre of games. I just bought Rainbow Six Siege. It's not a perfect game, but I like it, and my friends and I play it, and you don't get to play with us. You can go fuck yourself. My friends and I are going to play this game, and you don't have to be included in that. Oh, look at that discrimination. Fuck you. That's how this works. You want to play the game? No one's stopping you. You want to play with me? You're not entitled to it. You're not entitled to anything in regards to playing with anyone else. You have access to the game. That's it. Game protagonists were, and for the most part still are, of the white male variety, specifically the latter. This is one of the worst fucking talking points because this has never been true. If you actually look into what has been reported in terms of the different protagonists that have existed over the years, this has never been true. There have been characters of all different nationalities, and most of these characters are of fictional worlds. Worlds that don't exist. You can't characterize them by fucking race or even to the extent by gender, because that doesn't matter. You have to actually prove that this level of identity politics and the concern of it is necessary. You have to prove that there are people obsessed with these different characteristics. You have to fucking prove it. You can't simply just state it. It is a claim that requires evidence. And before we move on, do not forget who introduced race here. Do not forget who brought up race. And remember this word, white men. Don't forget it. And we're just going to skip past his bullshit about, oh, I consider myself to be a gamer. No one cares. I don't care what you consider yourself. I don't care what you played in the fucking 90s. I don't care about retro games. I don't fucking care. Tell me what you're playing now. Tell me, give me a fucking study. Give me an article. I don't care what you fucking play. Give me some evidence to back up your bullshit, dude. He goes on to say, my beliefs, and I'm not sure if he's being a cheeky cunt or what, are based on observations. The subject is not so complicated that it needs a peer-reviewed study. That's where you're fucking wrong, bro. That's the problem in gaming, is not enough statistics, not enough empiricism, too much narrative. This is one of the telling things, dude. My perspective is coming from what can be proven. What do we know? That is where I'm coming from on this. But you are obsessed with anecdote. And, you know, I don't know whether I have to reference planes, trains, and automobiles.
You know, everything is not an anecdote. You have to discriminate. And by the way, you know, when you're telling these little stories, here's a good idea. Have a point. It makes it so much more interesting for the listener.
Have something to your fucking anecdote, because otherwise I don't want to fucking hear it. It's boring. All your answers are lies you deluded yourself with because you love living as a conspiracy theorist. As an atheist, yes, that's the fucking thing I love the most, is not being skeptical enough. Great fucking argument. Actually, where are your studies? And it's funny because I do cite several. Sims and mobile games are marketed to women. How is that? If they play it as a majority, assuming of course, doesn't mean it was marketed for them. That wasn't my fucking point. As I said in my original comment, The Sims 4 just released a brand new expansion, and the entire expansion was based around social cliques and based around a collective, to where they even introduced a new character trait around the fact of you are a person that is obsessed with being part of a group. And it was marketed towards women. I can't hand you a study from EA saying that they marketed this towards women, but yeah, go look at the fucking ads. Go look at the fucking expansion. Why didn't they introduce a football expansion or a NASCAR expansion or something that would be particularly masculine? I didn't realize that social cliques were such a masculine fucking thing. If it's not marketed towards women, it's ambiguous. And so that contradicts your claim that this is being geared towards men. And here's where we enter into literally the stupidest fucking comment that I laughed out loud at from this guy. I play primarily JRPGs, and I can tell that the majority are led by male protagonists. Well, here's the reference for you, Mr. fucking idiot. Your reference first talking endlessly about FPS games as controlling the medium, and also, what's this word? White. There's not white people in this country, you stupid fucking cunt. And don't forget, you're the one that brought up fucking race. Japanese people are not fucking white, you goddamn retard. And you look at me and you call me deluded. What the fuck is rattling around in your mind, bro? So I then respond with, I just cited the ESA numbers, and first I made fun of him for the whole JRPG comment, but I also cited the ESA numbers about what people are actually playing to tell him, like, listen, you fucking idiot. Like, first-person shooters are not the only fucking genre out there. Like, are you literally fucking retarded that you can't click one link and look at one fact sheet from 1 year and understand that what you're saying is completely false? What does he respond to when I actually point to something that he cannot possibly fucking throw back at me? He cannot fucking make a counterclaim to this. That from this fucking study, we don't know whether it's true or not based on the fact that the ESA doesn't release their full numbers, but it's the best we fucking got to work with, says that he is demonstrably fucking wrong in what he is saying. Are you a racist 5-year-old? Are you familiar with the gaming industry? I said white/male, meaning and or, and if you have any knowledge about JRPGs, you know that even these have characters that pretty much resemble white people's look and skin tone, because even some Japanese developers want their characters to have a wide appeal, quote unquote. Here's the whole point of when I say stop making fucking assumptions, and not just that, but just stop thinking the worst in people. Stop thinking that every fucking person is a cynical piece of shit. Stop assuming the worst in people. But it's one of the problems that you get with this kind of person. They cannot stop themselves from looking at every other person in the world and saying to themselves, this person is a cynical piece of shit. I can read their fucking mind, and I just know they think about everything in terms of race. They think about everything in terms of gender. They think about everything in terms of how can I appeal to everyone. I'm so fucking ashamed of being Japanese that I have to make my characters white. I'm a self-loathing Japanese developer. Fuck yourself, dude. You are a fucking misanthrope. You are a piece of shit. Not the developer, you. You're the fucking misanthrope here. You're the fucking racist. So he goes on to call me a few more names, but here's the end. You are officially a delusional child who likes to throw tantrums and be offensive to everyone. Enjoy being a hateful child and go cry about the censorship of a porn volleyball game and pedophilia. You started this with inclusivity. And here you are, not just calling people names, which is, you know, it's petty and stupid, and I don't care. Your labels just wash right off me like a fucking water off a duck's ass. Do not fucking care, bro. But what I love about this is how here you are actively discriminating about games. You are the person that's saying, go cry about censorship. Go cry about artistic expression. Go cry about the fact that this volleyball game, this piece of shit Japanese-made game, is being censored. And go cry about pedophilia, which, again, this is the whole problem here, is that you people are moralist cunts. You cannot stand the fact that someone has access to something that you don't like. And you are projecting your own insecurities and your own totalitarian worldview on everyone else, when this is what you believe, you fucking cunt. The fact remains that I'm the one pushing for free expression in gaming. I'm the one that's ranting against censorship. I'm the one that's standing on principle, and you're the one pushing a narrative. You're the one pushing for censorship. You're the piece of shit in this conversation that's attempting to discriminate and influence the industry. I am not. I am the one that's saying, no, leave dogma and your fucking ideology out of gaming. You're gonna have your fucking Double Fines, you're gonna have your fucking Telltale games, you're gonna have all the shit narrative games that you could ever fucking play, but leave these video games, of which there's nothing wrong with, leave them alone. Stop pushing your fascist ideology. So long as you cunts exist, people such as myself will exist. Because no fucking totalitarian worldview exists without dissent.
Welcome to Marathon. May I help you?
Yes.
How may I help you?
You can start by wiping that fucking dumbass smile off your rosy fucking cheeks.